Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back. Until last video we were doing the expansion of a perfect square, right? So we did two methods. One is the normal rainbow method that you learn in form 1, and the other one is what you usually learn in form 2 by the identity method. Of course, both methods are same, both in the end you'll get the same answer. So in this video we are just continuing with few more practices, because practice makes perfect. So when you have a square on top, what do we say that? That means it's being repeated how many times? If it's a 2 there, it means it's being repeated twice. All right, and then what's the next step? We do, oopsies, such an ugly rainbow. So the F goes to the first part, the F also goes to the second part. Same for the bottom one. You also go to both of them. All right, so let's do the green part first. When F goes to both of them, you're multiplying it. So how do you get F times F? What do we get? We can get it as F square. And then we can't leave F times 4, positive 4. So F times 4 is positive 4F. And then do the bottom part as well. 4 times F, you can get it as 4F. And then the last part also, you can just click calculator because it's just numbers. 4 times 4, positive 4 times positive 4, you get positive 16. Are we done yet? Of course no, because we also need to do the middle part, since they are the like terms. Like term means they have the same unknown. Yeah? So what's 4F plus 4F? 4F plus 4F is 8F. So only that part is being changed, all right? Nothing to be done with this part or this part. But the middle part, because they have the same unknown, so you calculate them. This was the method that you learn in Form 1, usually, because some schools, they don't teach in Form 1 or some teach everything in Form 1. So that's why I use the word usually. Anyways, how about the identity method? So it's A plus B square, right? A plus B square equals to A square plus 2AB plus B square. Now, which one is A and which one is B? A is the first part, so F. B is after that positive sign, so this. So A square plus 2AB plus B square. Now what do I fill in these brackets? A and B. Which one is A? A is the first part, B is the second part, so you also fill in that F and 4. All right. Now if you see the correlation, so do you know what is this part? 4F, right? 4F is being repeated twice here as well. So that's why we have the 2 outside. The rest of the things actually doesn't change. If it's 4 times 4 means 4 squared. Yeah, nothing changes. Oh, now what do we do? F squared, nothing to do, so just keep it there. And then bracket means multiply, so you can calculate 2 times 4, which is 8F. And then the last part, 4 squared. 4 squared means 4 times 4, which is 16. Of course, it will still have the same answer in the end. It's just one step less. Yeah, because this one you also need to write it out. Personally, I will prefer student using this method if they can understand it, what the square mean, of course. But even if you don't, it's also fine. Oh, let's continue. Next one, you have a square there, so it means being repeated twice. I learned the word twice from my students recently, actually, will you believe that? Because unfortunately, I was pronouncing it as twice. I don't know why too, but then I was pronouncing it as twice. But then I noticed that I was actually wrong, because my students suddenly started laughing. And then I got to know, oh, it's twice. So upper part first, G times G, what do we get? And then G times 5. G times G is G squared. G times 5 is 5G. And then do the bottom part as well. I'm doing it a little quicker because we did this in last video. So 5 times G, what do we get? 5 times g is 5g. And the last part, 5 times 5, 25. Anything same? Yes, the middle part. So I always suggest students to highlight it so that you don't get confused later on. Alright, so it becomes g square, 5g plus 5g, 5 pencils plus 5 pencils. How many pencils do you have in total? 10 g's. That's the answer. Now, how about the identity method? Identity method, please also do the same way. A plus b square. Which one is a and which one is b? A plus b square. So it will be a square plus 2ab plus b square. What is a? G. What is b? 5. So a square and the 2 times 5, 10g. Then the last part, 5 square. 5 square means 5 times 5, which is 25. So of course, in the end, they will still have the same answer. Now, why I'm suggesting to use this method is because when you have more unknowns later on, it's actually getting less confusion if you do this way. Both ways are fine. We don't mind. Of course, it's just quicker. But for this, you also need to know square numbers. You need to know quick maths a little bit because you think it's nice to be clicking 2 times 5 in calculator every time or 5 plus 5. Well, of course you can, but then it's not so suggested, right? Oh, next thing. Square there, so of course you give it twice. Bracket means multiply. So we open up, the 2 goes here, 2x goes here, 2x also goes here. And in the bottom part, the whole thing will go here, the whole thing will also go here. So the upper part first. 2x times 2x, numbers goes with numbers first. 2 times 2, what do we get? 4, and how many unknowns? X times x, so 4x squared there. So I know this is a little, actually much harder than the previous few questions, but we are here to learn. So 4x squared. So how it went? This one part, right? So 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squares. And then go to the second arrow. So numbers first. 2 times 5, 10. And then how many unknowns? X and y. They're not the same, so you don't need to give a square on top. Oh, now the bottom part. 5y times 2x. It's positive, so you also put positive, all right? So 5 times 2 first, which is 10. And how about the unknowns? We can't leave that. We have a y, we have a x, but we write in alphabetical order, so x, y. And then last part, 5y times 5y. Since it's all positive, so you also put it positive. So numbers first, 5 times 5, what do we get? 25. And then, what about the unknowns? Y times y, which is y squared. All right. Next part. Now, is there any other, so we have 4 terms here, right? Is there any like terms? Like term means they have the same unknowns at the end. So, any more x squares? Nope, because that's y squared. Any more xy's? Yes, so these both have the x squares. So, highlight them, highlight them, highlight them, them. So, 10xy plus 10xy, what do we get? The first part, no change, 20xy. Okay, ma? I'll just move this a little up. Alright, so this is the usual method. You use the rainbow method and then open up everything. Now, how about the identity method? Of course, you are supposed to learn every method because why not? Oh, so this is a square, a plus b square. What is a plus b square again? Let me write on the side. What is a plus b square again? A square plus 2ab plus b square, right? It's the same for this part. A plus b square. So it will equals to a square. Which one is a in this question? 2x. So since more than one thing, so put a bracket. A square plus 2ab plus b square. Alright, so match the same thing from there. So a square plus 2ab plus b square. And then now opening up of this. So the square goes to everything inside the bracket. The 2 also gets the square, the x also gets the square. When 2 gets the square, it means 2 times 2, which is 4. Now in the middle, this is harder. 2 times 2 times 4. You click everything. 2 times 2 times 5. Click calculator. You get it as 20. How about the unknowns? We have x and we have y. Same for the last part. The square goes to everything inside the bracket. So when 5 gets the square, it means 5 square, right? Which is 5 times 5. What is 5 times 5? 25. And the y also gets the square. So that will be your final answer, one step less than that. So of course, if you are quick, I will also just suggest you to skip this step and directly come to this. Why not, right? What we do is a square. So in your brain, you have a square there. And then in your brain, you also need to know the 2 gets the square, the x gets the square, so everything. But that's not so quick. The easiest method is using the rainbow method, and the next step is using the steps with identity method, and the final step is you just see it and then you write the final answer. Of course, all the methods are fine. Anything is fine. The maths is fun just like that. That was such a lie. Really? Is maths fun? What do you guys think? Because not everyone finds maths fun. Oh, next. 3x plus 7y. 3x plus 7y. And then when we open up the bracket, this goes here. This also goes here. And then this goes here. This also goes here. Oh, next step. 3x times 3x, what do we get? 9x squared. 3x plus 7y, 3x times 7y. 3 times 7, 21, xy. The bottom part as well, 7y times 3x, 7 times 3 first, which is 21, and then what are the unknowns? Xy. And then the last part, 7y times 7y, numbers first. 7 times 7, we get it as 49. Y square. Oh, and then find the like terms. Like term means we have the same unknowns. No more x squared, no more y squared, but these are the same. So if something is same, we highlight them, underline them, any method. So because you need to calculate them, which we will get it as the first part, no change, 21xy plus 21xy, 21 plus 21 is 42. And the last part. Yeah, I'm just putting it up a little. Hopefully you can pause the video and try next few questions. It's actually the same thing, non-stop. Until question 10 is the same thing. Oh, let me also do the other method. If you think you are not going to learn the other method, of course you can skip that part of the video. A plus b square, which is a square plus 2ab plus b square. The square goes to everything inside, and then 2 times 3 times 7. Click calculator, you get it as 42, and the unknowns. Oh, continue. So that's it for this video, and then let's continue. Next, we have 6a plus 5b, 6a plus 5b. Open up the video, open up the brackets, open up the brackets. Open up the brackets, open up the brackets. Yep. And then what do we get? 6a times 6a, 36a squared. 6 times 5, 30, and then ABs. So 30 ABs. And then the next part, 5a times 6a. So 5 times 6, we get 30, and the B and A's. So 30 AB there as well. And then the last part, 5b times 5b. So we have the numbers 5 times 5, which is 25, and then b squared. And the last part, we check which one have the same unknowns. So we have a, b's in the middle, so you calculate them. 30 plus 30, you get 60. The other parts, no change. So the other parts, just keep it there. So it's only the middle one, ab plus 25 b squared. If I'm too quick, you can always slow down the video. I won't be doing this method anymore because I think if you understand it, it's too easy for you already. Oh, let's do 2 more questions and then I'll end the video. Next, you can do... I always suggest students to do the questions on their own first, and then we check the answers together by playing the video. Of course, this is not for watching hours or views or anything like that. It is, but then main purpose is all oopsies. Yeah, we still have some charging. So 3x times 3x, 9x squared. 3x times 4y, 12xy. And then I also have 4y times 3x, 12xy, and the last part, 4y times 4y, 16y squared. Pause the video, do on your own, and then check the answer. So these are having the same unknowns xy, so you can calculate them. The rest of the things you can't calculate, so just leave it there. So 24xy. Yep. Continue, last question, and then we will continue the rest in next video. So 6d plus 5e, 6d plus 5e, draw the rainbow. Even the bottom part. 6d times 6d, 36d squared. 6d times 5e, 6 times 5 is 30, de. And then the bottom part, 5e times 6d, 5 times 6, 30, de. And the 5 times 5, 25, e squared. Why do I have e squared? Because e times e, so 2 of them. And then these are the same, so you calculate 30 plus 30 is 60 in the middle. And the last part, also no change. So that's it for this video. We have done a plus b squared with both methods. Hopefully you will understand it better in this video. And if you have more questions, you can also feel free to ask me on Insta. Alright, until next time, see you, tata, bye bye, Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz means may Allah protects you. So see you in next video. Allah Hafiz.